Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, I asked if you wanted to see how I contour my nose, and I got a lot of requests for me to make that video. So today I'm going to show you how I do it. So to start, I just want to talk about why we contour our nose. We're going to approach this the same way that you would contour your face. So when you apply foundation to your face, you're covering it in one color, which can make it appear flat. So after applying all of that foundation and that powder, you're really removing the three-dimensional effect. And this can be extremely apparent in photos because the camera is taking something that is three-dimensional and flattening it. It's making it two-dimensional. So it's going to take the planes of your face and flatten them. My nose isn't huge, but I do have a very wide bone right here, which can make it appear much wider than it is, like I said, especially in photos. So with the lights right now, I have 3 lights on me, and when they hit my face, they're making the plane of my nose, the front plane of my nose, look very, very flat and wide. So you can go in with a powder or a cream that's a little bit darker than your skin tone and redefine those features to create a more three-dimensional look. You can also use a combination of light and dark shades to manipulate the shape of your nose. My nose is also crooked, so if I turn this way, and I'm looking in the viewfinder so I can see what I'm talking about. If I turn this way, I mean, it's more straight, but it goes like this. You can see there's a bump in my nose right here. And then if I turn this way, it goes out like that. So it kind of goes to the left a little bit. So when I contour my nose, I like to bring those lines in and really straighten it. So you're basically going to be using lights and darks to create the illusion of a straighter nose. All right, I'm gonna zoom you in to my nose. We're gonna get like up close and personal. So you can see what I'm talking about a little bit better this way. This is my much better side, mostly because of my nose, because I do have a crooked nose. So it looks smaller from this angle. And then when we turn, it kind of goes out like that. Can you see that? Drives me insane, I hate it. So I'm gonna use the contour to make it appear more narrow and refined. My favorite product right now is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium. I've been using this to contour my face, and I use it to contour my nose. Now this is a little bit dark, especially when I'm really fair, but it has an olive undertone to it, and it's the only powder that I found that really does. So to me, it looks the most natural. When I'm this fair, I like to just go in with a really light hand, so I'm not like piling it on. Now today I'm going to go in a little bit harder than usual just so I can show you guys, like really show you how I do it. And the brush that I've been using is this City Color brush. This is the CCB 101 brush. This is amazing. It blends really easily, but it's also very precise because it gets thinner. So you can really apply those lines where you want them. So I'm going to tap my brush into the product, and I'm going to focus it on the very, very tip. I hate looking at myself with no nose contour. So you want to follow the natural planes of your nose, otherwise it's gonna look really unnatural. So if you look at the natural planes of my nose, I have a plane here and here and here, and then here and here. So I'm gonna follow those natural planes. I'm just gonna define them. So my nose, the planes of my nose come down a little bit lower, which can make it look like longer. I wanna make it appear a little bit shorter. So I'm going to take that plane up. I'm gonna define right there. So I'm lifting that. I'm lifting the tip by lifting up those planes. Now I'm gonna go in and do the bridge. So I like to start off in the middle, and what I'm gonna do is on this side, I just want to like bring it in and make it a little bit more narrow because it does go in like that. Draw a line in right here. So I'm basically bringing that line, that natural line, inward. All right, and then for this side, you can see it like goes like that. So I'm gonna bring that line in a lot more. See how I'm like I'm like gonna exaggerate that shape to try and make it look thinner and like a little bit more perky. And you can see a definite line, but I am going in with a really light hand because I am going to blend it all out. So you don't want to like pack it on too hard. It's definitely best to start off with a small amount. And then I just like to bring this in to my eyebrow. Just to like further lift the tip. I'm going to draw just take whatever's left over on my brush and draw a little bit right across here. Just a tiny bit, like barely anything. Now what I'm gonna do is wipe my brush off, and I'm gonna start buffing that out. So I'm gonna focus it where I put the product, and then just lightly start blending it. If you wanna blend it anywhere, you wanna blend it down. Like if you're gonna drag any extra product. I like to start up by the eyebrow and just blend that out into my eyeshadow. The bridge is where I really, really want to contour, so I like to save that for last. I like to just go in and like super, because I don't want to bring it in like way too far down the bridge. So I just like to lightly blend that and then kind of push it downward. You don't want to take that dark into the center of the nose. You don't want to lose that line, but you also want it to be soft because otherwise it'll be really, really obvious. Doesn't that look so much better? All right, another trick that you can do is to bake along the sides of your nose, especially if you have like if you're like me and you have a wider nose, or if you have like a wider bone up here. Putting light along the sides of your nose is going to help push that back and look like you're part of your under eye. It's gonna make your nose appear much more narrow. So I'm just gonna take my Real Techniques makeup sponge and my Kat Von D setting powder, Lock-It setting powder. You can also do this before you go in with like your contour shade. A great person to watch for contouring your nose is JD Wadey 180. She does it, I mean, she has a perfect little nose anyway, but the way she contours her nose is perfect. Perfect, she does it so well. So she's another person that you should check out. So anyway, I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and I'm gonna brighten up along the side. I usually do this after I go in with the contour shade because I do this before I do my eyeshadow, and I like to just kind of catch fallout anyway. You want to make sure not to completely like cover up that contour you just put in. But you can see the difference right here. See, you can kind of see like the shadow right here. It's a little bit darker than my under eye. This makes it seamless with the under eye. See how tiny it looks right now? And then you can just leave this on for like while you're doing your eyeshadow or finishing the rest of your face makeup, or you can just leave it on for like a few seconds. It doesn't matter. Once you dust this away, honestly, especially if you're using the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder, because it just brightens like crazy, it's going to help make your nose appear so much smaller. So I'm just gonna like wait for a second. All right, I'm just gonna use my Kat Von D number 25 brush to dust this away. Got it all over my lip. Shit. Look how bright that is. I love this stuff. Oh my God. All right, and for the final step, you can highlight your nose. I know there's a lot of people who don't like to do this. If you do like to do it, do it. I love doing it. I think it makes it look so much more cohesive with your whole makeup look, because I highlight like the hell out of my face. So what I used to highlight the rest of my face today was the Sleek makeup highlighting palette. This is Solstice. And I'm gonna go in with this super, super light shade. It's like a vanilla, so pretty. So I like to use the Joseph Colors pencil brush. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that on the very tip of the brush. I always tap it off, just in case. You don't wanna go in with like way too much. Oh my God, my camera's overheating. So we created this little this little spot right here. We created like a new tip of our nose. So I'm just gonna put it right in the center of that, and just a teeny bit. I don't like to go along the whole nose because it can actually widen it. I'm just gonna put like a little dot right there and then tap it out with my finger. So cute. I'm gonna take a little bit more on the tip of the brush, and then this helps to further straighten the nose. Drag it like right down the center, keeping it really thin. Yeah. It just looks so good with the rest of the look, and it helps to further create that three-dimensional look. My philosophy is if you're going to contour, you have to highlight. All right, so like I said, there are other ways of doing it. You don't have to do it with powder, you can do it with cream. That's like a whole nother story though. If you wanna see that video, let me know. I mix my own contour. Like when I do a cream contour, I use different foundations. And that's a process. Quickly, I just wanted to mention that a common mistake is placing the contour shade all along the sides of your nose. What that actually does is create the illusion of large shadows along the sides of your nose, which is actually going to make your nose look like it's coming out so much farther. It just ends up doing the opposite effect, and I see that oftentimes. People will take a really big brush and they'll just start going along the sides of their nose, and it does the complete opposite. So the smaller you want your nose to look, the further in you want to bring the contour shade, and the more you want to brighten up along the sides of your nose. This is how I've been contouring my nose for a while now. It's gone through a little bit of trial and error, but I really love the way that it looks, and I pretty much don't go a day without doing it. If I'm wearing makeup, trust me, I've contoured my nose. If at the end of this video you're still a little bit confused, I think you should definitely check out JD Wadey 180. I will put her channel down below. Another person that helped me is Carli Bybel. She and I actually have a very similar nose shape, and the way she contours her nose is extremely similar. So I would definitely check her out. If you want to see a full contour tutorial, like full faced, because if I'm gonna do my nose with creams, I have to show you my whole face with creams. But if you want to see that, let me know in the comments, and I can definitely do that for you as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm watching you. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next one. What's her name? If you fit at the end. I feel like I rambled through that entire thing and I don't know if any of it made sense. Sometimes I feel like I really know what I'm talking about, and sometimes I'm like, if you're interested in these makeup details, they'll all be on Instagram, trust me.